Hey everyone, Mike here. I made a little discovery with the mop material. I know a lot of people have, including me, have always wanted to be able to wrap the hook with the mop, but the problem is the material is just way too thick, and by the time you wrap it around, it just doesn't look right. It's way out of proportion to the tail, whatever kind of a tail that you would put on. So I'm gonna show you something real quick here that that I discovered just playing around and just having time to do that. If you look here, now you can't always. I went through all my mops and I tried to see if it was the same on all of them, but it's not, and it still works no matter what. In fact, what I'll do here is I'll cut two fingers off of this mop to be, you know, approximately the same size as the ones that I'm going to use. But what you're going to want to do is, if you look at these here, you'll see that this finger is fatter than the other two. Now, if you can find these fatter fingers, what you'll want to do is use those for the tail of your woolly worm. And I'm going to go ahead and throw one on as well. I use these Mustad 3366 BR size 4 hooks, and we'll throw one of these things on the vise here real quick, and I'll show you a woolly worm that you can do out of these mops. It was really kind of surprising. I was actually kind of excited, and that's why I'm doing this video today. I usually was wanting to wait to do multiple videos, but this discovery, I think, warrants not having to wait. Okay, so just like I've shown you on some other videos with the mop material, to get it to tie in, I will pinch out the material down on the end that I cut, and it's just a simple matter of pulling out the fibers. What you're doing is you're pulling out the fibers to expose the string that all the fibers are wrapped on, and you can see them coming out there just like that. We want to get it I'm not really going to want my tails to be too long, so I'm gonna strip these things out until I've got enough off that I'm comfortable with the length of the actual tail. I would imagine that if you have the tail about the length of the shank or a little shorter, proportionately it should work out fine. So I'm going to peel off a little bit more of this. If you make it a little bit, if you think you made it a little bit short, you actually didn't, because any kind of little nub on the back side of this hook is going to be kind of tantalizing for the fish. So we'll go ahead and put this thing on here and tie it in. And when I put these in, I'll pull back on the material and hold it up from the hook. This is exaggerated here, but I'm going to hold it up and back, pulling back, so that the thread wraps down on the mop material to hold it right on top of the hook. That's your goal. That's what you're wanting to do. Okay, so we got that tied in, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these feathers here, find me one that has some long but not too long of fibers sticking off of there. This one here looks good, and I'll strip that back. And then strip it back like that, cut off a tag, get my thread back close to the end there, and then go ahead and wrap that in just like that. Hold this in my keeper. Now here's the exciting part for me. I know I get excited over things pretty easy sometimes, but the mop material, all these little microfibers are wrapped intertwined on this on this string. You saw me strip it off to get the fibers back to where the tail is. I was just fiddling around with these things, and I gave a twist on this. And when I did, if you look here, what happens is those mops straighten out, and I don't know if you can see it really well or not, but there's a split in the middle of the mop, and that split, actually, if you grab it, pulls out, and it makes a beautiful little chenille string that's half the size of the actual mop material. And that's what I'm going to use for the body of this mop fly. And again, I'll strip off the fibers off of the string so that I have something to tie in without building up a lot of bulk where I'm tying it in at. So let's go ahead and put this in. I'm going to need to bring my thread back here a little bit because I want it all right at a point right there. And then let's get this microfiber in. And just like you would a regular woolly worm, just you know, wrap it to towards the front, palm ring it as they call it, to the front. This way your material is the same color, or your body is the same color as the tail. May not be important to some people, but I just kind of think they look better that way. I'm not saying that's the way you have to do it. You can mix up colors, you can do whatever you want. I mean, this is an art. It's not a science, and an art means that you can do what you want to make your own creations. Okay? Just saying. So I'll put a little head on here just to have a place to bring the hackle around and meet the head from the tail. And we're going to go ahead and wrap these in. Just like that. I mean, woolly worms, it doesn't get any easier than this. Now I pull everything back best I can. There we go. And then I'll build me up a nice little head right there. And go ahead and finish the head here. I probably put more wraps on than some people, but again, it's no big deal. You do it however you want to do it. That's a woolly worm. Cut my thread off, cut the stem out. And a little straggly there. I'm going to hit it with a lighter. That makes it disappear. Now this white head, I use white thread on a lot of my flies because I can come back with a Copic pin, just like that, and then I can color the head whatever color I want, just like that. And that, my friends, is a mop fly woolly worm that has proportions pretty nice from tail to the front. Now, one of the things that you can do to add a little bit of spice to this, one of the things I will do here real quick is just throw a little head cement. That's all you need to do, just a little bit, a little dab of you right there. And then, now if you want to have an attractor to the mop, one of the things that you can do is throw a little red on the back end of the tail. Just kind of hold it down there and then hit it, and it bleeds all the way through, but you can still flip it around to the other side. Well, that's the other side. You can flip it around there. Now you got yourself a little red button on the back side of that woolly worm. That thing's going to work really well. I know it will. Woolly worms are always good anyway, but to be able to do a woolly worm that's proportionate using mop material, that, my friends, is pretty awesome. Well, this is Mike. Hope that you found this you know, a technique that you can use to make woolly worms out of the mop material. Plan on doing more video. I don't really plan on doing as many as I have in the last couple of days, but anyway, if you want to keep up with some of the new stuff that I come up with an old man that's sitting around, has nothing else to do but to experiment, consider subscribing to my channel, because I will come out with some more stuff, hopefully some techniques that will help make tying easier and fishing better. Again, this is Mike. Until the next video, we'll catch you later.